ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. My name is Max, or Ahdow, whatever you want to call me. So this is my channel. So not only this is one of the games that I'll be playing, not necessarily by myself. My content will mainly consist of gameplay, but not really. I'm gonna tell you what I'll be doing here in a minute. So, jump to the gameplay side. What I'll be doing is not only I'll be playing really by myself. Gmod is not really much of a game that is really entertaining to play by yourself. But it's a game that I'll be playing with my friends quite a bit for your entertainment. So yeah, as you're probably watching this, you're thinking another commentary guy, great, it's on YouTube, there's hundreds of other commentaries. Yes and no. Now, jumping from the gameplay side that I said earlier, not only will I be doing gameplay, but I'll be doing things like how to have things work on your computer, modding, things like Minecraft, GTA, etc. It's kind of a broad list, but going on the technical side, like IT side, things like how to get better frame rate in fraps, recording with fraps. Like, it took me a while to figure it out, but I got really good frame rates with recording with fraps now, so I'm happy with that. How to get good frame rates in DayZ standalone, because I know everyone, that's just an ass kicker, just frame rate. Disaster. It's fucking eats up the game like turkey dinner. Yeah, so IT things like that, more, I could go into more, but, I'm just trying to wrap my head around what I could do. So yeah, back to that, like, trying to figure out what, I could do, to help you guys. That's another thing. Add links in the, leave a comment of what I should do to help you guys out. Anything if you're having problems with Windows. I can't really help you out with Mac. Sorry. I don't really use Mac. Not a big fan of them. Other than that, if you guys got Windows, you got anything, I'll help you out. It'll be a good time. Oh no. Yeah. So, jumping from the review side, I have tons of games on my hard drive. I'll leave a huge link in the description of all the games that I could play or you want to see me play. The games that you want to see me play. I usually won't be sounding this formal as I am right now because I'm trying to give the best intro that I can. I'm not the best with this, so please leave the mean comment sound to it down low. Don't make me cry. But other than that, yeah, I got tons of games on my hard drive. Leave a huge link in the description of all of them, all the mods, all the games that I've been playing with friends, by myself, etc. So, we're going to talk about my brief game history and IT history in the next video right now. See what I did there? Made a fancy transition. So, my brief game history, I'm going to start off with right there. So, I originally started out with console. I wasn't a big PC guy until around 2 years ago. So, the first console that I ever owned was a Nintendo 64. Even though I wasn't born in the early 90s, I was born in 2000s, but my uncle, he owned, like, he had a small collection of game consoles, early game consoles, and he had two N64s, so he decided to give one for us when I was living with my dad. So I remember playing Majora's Mask, Pokemon Snap. Oh my god, played the crap out of that. And I was a Command and Conquer. I was, as you'd expect, a 9-year-old playing Command and Conquer. Did not go well. But I think it was a little bit after the N64, just playing all my super fun games like GoldenEye and that, I jumped over to the Wii. Now, I'm y'all thinking, at the time, I freaking loved the Wii. The Wii was the badassest thing. Badass, it sounds like it's weird. Game console that I pretty much thought. Even though I thought I really wanted an Xbox really bad, I still loved the Wii. So the games that I really loved playing on that was Super Mario Galaxy. It was like this one truck racing game. I think Excite Truck is what it was called. That was super fun. I played the crap out of that. And I think it was another game. Oh. But yeah, it was another zombie game. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here with the zombie game and Wii. But yeah, I played a crap ton on the Wii. Like I was saying, I played a lot of Super Mario Galaxy. I played a lot of Excite Truck, Wii Sports, Wii Play. Those were all really fun games. And it wasn't until I think about 2 years later that I finally got my first Xbox, and I completely forgot about the Wii. The first game that I ever owned for the Xbox was Burnout Paradise, and I freaking love that game. I absolutely loved it. It was such fun. And then sorry, I'm doing weird transitions, but like I said, I'm trying to be as professional as possible, but it's not going too well. Okay, so after that death, after playing lots of Paradise City, I think it was until a little bit later that I got into Call of Duty. Let's see, I think the first Call of Duty that I ever played was Call of Duty 2, and Call of Duty 2 is like one of my favorite Call of Duties of all time. So much fun, great game, great game. If you like original COD with the World War II stuff, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you're into that, you probably already played Call of Duty 2. And then it wasn't until a little bit later after that I got Modern Warfare 2. Now, that became another one of my favorite Call of Duties of all time. Which I think Call of Duty should go back to single player level ups for multiplayer. Because I really like that. It was fun to just play around with your brother and level up and get all the guns that you could do with multiplayer. Now, that you could do now. So Activision, if you can hear that out, pretty sure I'm not the first one to think of that. So yeah, I got an Xbox, and then years pass. I think it was like, I got that in like, what, 2008, 2009? It's 2015 now. I built my PC last year. So let's jump onto the IT side of the PC. So how I got into PCs was one day just surfing YouTube, just looking at tech stuff, because I was into like all like tech. I was never really big on the computer side yet. Oh baby, I'm so screwed. I wasn't big on the tech side. Wow, I'm eating shit. Big on the PC side yet. It wasn't until that I was watching Linus Tech Tips, Austin Evans, Tech Syndicate, and a bunch of other guys that I was just like, holy crap, gaming PC. I've heard about it before. I know a little bit about it. It's really nerdy, is what I thought at the time. And there's tons of people that are playing it, living in their mom's basement. I found out that was not true. It wasn't until then I started really getting into computers, and my dad knew a lot about computers. He actually was like for a little while, he did repair for like Dell. He would go to people's house and like, I remember working on a big water cooling project that him and like this guy and his son had, and he had to like clean it out and everything. And it wasn't until that he told me that, it's like, wow, that's really awesome. So I kind of knew that he knew a bit about computers. He had like all of his old pocket PCs from like the 90s. He saw all those in a box, and I remember just like having fun taking those apart and just seeing what's inside. I always imagined I always thought motherboards when I was younger looked like a bird's eye view or like an aerial view of just like a big town. That's what I always thought they looked like. I thought that was cool. So it wasn't until after that I decided to build a PC. I tried to cross the line, go smack down right in the middle of doing like kind of like a workstation and a gaming. Except mine leaned a little bit more to the gaming side rather than like a workstation, because I work with code. I know HTML5 and CSS a bit. I use Sublime Text 2. If you guys are getting into coding or web design, go with Sublime Text 2. There's tons out there. Notepad is one line of code that you can work with, which is pretty much already installed on your computer, so that's a plus. But back to that, it wasn't until later that I decided to start saving up money. I worked with my dad on a construction site, because my dad had tons of jobs. IT, working at a construction site. He was an architect. He loves really, really modern houses. That's what we talk about on the phone a lot. Or when I'm over at his house, we always talk about what we could do for like houses and what could be the innovation, things like that. So I helped my dad build a preschool, and I was trying to raise as much money as possible. As much as money as I made, I still got help from a lot of people. My grandpa, who is he's old for his age to know so much about computers, and I just think that's badass. Shouts out to my grandpa. Things like that. But yeah, my grandpa knew a lot about computers, and he gave me an SSD, and he got me started. He showed me a bit of knowledge that he knew. My dad showed me a bit of knowledge that he knew. Things like that. And so I started saving up money. Me and my dad actually built this preschool that my dad gave a project. My dad was given a project by an old friend, and he asked me, "Hey, you want to raise up some money? We can build that computer." I was like, "Sure, I need to start somewhere." So we decided. I think it was for about 3 months that I finally saved up, and my dad bought the motherboard, and I bought everything else. I think some of the time I'll put the link in the description of all my specs. I might do it later. Or if you guys just look down in the description, I probably already added it. So, I probably added it, yeah. So, I built a PC, and then my mom, and then it wasn't until this time of, researching about computers that my mom told me about coding. No, it was my dad who told me about the coding, because we were talking about apps and, robotics and stuff like that. So he was like, "Hey, you should get really into coding now that you're going to be building this PC." And I'm like, "I should." And so my mom, she's a designer. She worked for Microsoft for a long time. And HEC, designing UI for phones, which is the home screen, where everything slides and all your apps are. That's what she did for a long time. She did that in Microsoft. She actually worked on the Surface table. She was one of the lead designers for the Surface table. Now, if you don't know what the Surface table is, you probably all know the Surface tablet. It's just this big touchscreen table. I'm pretty sure if you go on YouTube and just look up the Surface table old Microsoft, you'll probably find it. She did that for a long time. She's worked all around, and she wanted me to really get in design. I really wanted to get in design, so I started working with Photoshop. I started working with HTML5 and Sublime Text 2 to create websites and design them. And I still am a bit today. I started doing that, it was around 2013, late 2013, that I decided to do this, to start making websites, and I thought it was the funnest thing ever. I had so much fun doing it. And so that's where I tried to cross the line between the workstation PC, so I can do things like that. Not so much on like creating apps and all that. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be the best at it, but it wasn't until later. Wow, look at that. That was like all 3 in a row. That was crazy. Okay, so back to what I was saying. I forget. It was oh yeah, fine line between gaming and things like that. So it wasn't until later that I had a bit of computer knowledge. I knew how to work with stuff on my computer from my crappy laptop, where I tried to play DayZ on a Intel HD 4000. It's a really it was a good laptop. I had fun with it. You know, I played Gmod. I have logged so much hours into Gmod, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I had latency computer knowledge, and it wasn't for my mom and my dad, which I have to thank them, to get me into all this, and my grandpa. I just have to thank them, and I just would love to thank you guys if you would give me all the support to my channel. It would be a huge help. I'll try to post videos every once a week. If not, go ahead and blame me in the comments. Give me the motivation to. I am still in school. I'm in high school. So that might happen. Please don't blame me if it does. I'm sorry if it does. But I'll send you off, guys. And I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity of getting my YouTube channel, and for the opportunity of subscribing and liking and things like that. That's if you do. It would be a huge help. And you guys are awesome. Peace off. I'll see you next time.